Okay, folks, Andrew Bopros here. I want to do a video recapping the Chargers Saints game. Interesting game, right? We came out on top. We know how we did. We feel comfortable about the W, of course, but some interesting things to break down on this, guys. I mean, there's a lot to talk about on this in this video. So, without further ado, let's get
Bull Bros.
Okay, as always, please like and subscribe and hit that like button. Leave a comment down below for the algorithm. Again, I'm Andrew from the Bolt Bros. So let's talk about our boy Justin Herbert. He did great, as we know, and he actually had one of his best games. PFF would agree with that as well, too. But before I go too deep into Justin Herbert, I want to talk about his biggest critic. Actually, was on Twitter defending Justin Herbert. Well, not necessarily defending Justin Herbert, but basically saying this play right here was as dirty as hell, just blatantly trying to injure Justin Herbert. No place for the game for this. Absolute trash, right? That's Emmanuel Ocho. And we all know he's been extremely critical of Justin Herbert and his performance over the years. So I think it's interesting to see him, come to his aid and say, hey, look, like that was garbage. And that completely was. I mean, he was rolling all over. As we know, Bozeman came in and hit him again and all this other stuff. I mean, look, it's a rough game out there, right? And whether he was blatantly trying to hurt Justin Herbert or not, it was a horrible looking play. It's a bad look, bottom line. It's nice to see Emmanuel Ocho at least walk out there and say, hey, look, I need to say something about this, right? Being one of Justin Herbert's largest critic that I can think of. But let's talk about his statistics, right? Since week 6, 10 big time throws, X plays. He's first in the league on that. Almost, 865 passing yards, third in the league on that. A 90.9 PFF passing grade, first in since week 6. 10 drops, tied for first, and a 0.217 EPA per play, 8th, right? So he's an elite player. We all know he's done we all know what he can do, right? The question is, what can he do with weapons around him that we have gotten for him? The thing that I will say too is the players that are on the team are going to get better and better moving forward, right? So we're still growing into the offense. It's a very different offense compared to what he's done in the past. We all know that. It really is. A lot of people think, well, it's Justin Herbert. You should be able to do it. Yeah, but he lost Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, a lot of the players he had. So he's still learning how to progress and thrive within this system. I will say this is probably his best game by far. And if he plays this way each week, and this offense plays this way each week, we'll go a long way. We'll go a long way, guys. So I'm excited to see how we play against the Browns. Browns are very good defense also, so that'll be really interesting. But Herbert had a great game. I'm hyped. I know a lot of people are hyped as well. Leave a comment down below on how you think Justin Herbert's progressing and how this offense is progressing. I'm going to talk more about that in a second. But this is the highest graded PFF players for the Week 8 game versus the Saints. So Justin Herbert, no surprise there. 90. Oh, let's get the crayon out. Let's get the crayon out, guys. I mean, let's, hey, let's go. This is amazing right here. 95.3. Hey, what's up? Lad McConkey, Ladidi, looking good. Rashawn Slater. Dude, Thule has looked amazing. By the way, I've been following his PFF scores. He pretty much is in the 80s every single week, right? So he sets the edge really well. He does an excellent job. He's not getting a lot of sacks as, we would like to see, but what he's doing just as an edge player is absolutely incredible. Getting sacks, not letting people get through, amazing. And Jasir Taylor, guys, it's so funny because Jasir, a lot of people didn't think he'd be that great. He went to Wake Forest, right? We're like, whatever. He's developed into an amazing player. Cam Hart, and obviously Tarheeb Still last game had a higher PFF score. But bottom line, these corners are developing, and that's exciting, right? We're going to talk more about some other people that I think we could go after a little later on in a video this week. I think there are some targets we could trade for this year to potentially boost our team going into potentially the playoffs. So we'll talk more about that a little later. But again, these are the highest rated Chargers for Week 8 versus the Saints. So I just wanted to do a little side-by-side comparison of the passing charts from really against the Cardinals and against the Saints, right? So, and again, I did this a little bit on our live, but you can see right here, I mean, we're pretty much grouping everything on the right side, which I thought was really interesting. Now, again, it is what it is, right? You can sit back all day. Hey, a lot of plays are maybe designed that way, but whether that is just him looking that direction or just maybe his first read is to the right and then he, doesn't scan the field. He goes, okay, he's open. Boom, I'm going to throw it. But it shows statistically where he's going to throw the ball a little bit more. Now look at where we're at right now with week 8, pretty much just all over the map, right? I mean, there's no real random, side, I mean, this is just completely wide open on the left side, but everything is 100% on the right side. And so I just think that's interesting to look at, because bottom line, you don't want to be predictable in the NFL, and you're predictable, you're going to struggle. And again, a lot of these passes are on the 10-yard line, right? They're not really explosive plays, but we made 3 explosive plays on the right side. And we even tried another one on the left side. So we're trying to make it even. And the good thing about that is teams now are going to go, okay, they're spreading the ball a little bit more now. I mean, that's very even spread, right? And again, a lot of these passes are 15 yards, 10 of them are behind the line. But bottom line, it's a nice little mix, right? And again, if you look at the running plays to passing plays last week, it was pretty much 50-50 run plays to pass plays, which is pretty great. So again, around 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Herbert's looking good, man. He's healthy now. He's looking awesome. And anyone who's picked him up in fantasies, probably very happy at the moment, right? He's doing great. He's looking awesome. And he's going to be the quarterback we know he is going to be. Now, let's talk a little bit more about Greg Roman. PFF, I watched PFF's breakdown of the Chargers-Saints game, and I really liked what one of the commentators said about offensive coordinators, and it really clicked with me. So I just want to share this with you, because I think this is what's been happening with Greg Roman. What he said, what the commentator PFF said is, look, a lot of times in the NFL, we're thinking about the third down. You want to get into a third and short, right? A third and manageable. People say that all the time. And I think a lot of times when you're starting to chew the clock down, you go, okay, cool, second down, it's second and long. You think, okay, we just want 5 yards back. So then we make it 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, right? And then you just have a running play and you just hopefully get the ball. You get the 2 yards and you get a first down. And you're chewing clock. Well, what the PFF commentator was saying, I cannot remember the guy's name for the life of me, but he basically said, look, he said, the thing that I liked about this game this week versus the Saints is they went second and long and they were throwing the ball. They weren't setting up the third down. They were being aggressive. They were letting Justin Herbert air it out and make the first down on second down. And so we didn't really have we had some third down attempts, but most of the time it was just, all right, let's just go get the first down. Let's go get the first down. So they're allowing Justin Herbert to be Justin Herbert, which I think is a great thing. And I think prior to that, maybe these last 2 games, I think they were kind of putting him on training wheels to some degree, kind of letting him work within the system. Now they're just letting him air it out a bit more, which I think is really important. So I think Mark Trestman has also become very, big part of that conversation, because he's, the overarching passing game coordinator, right? And he's up in the booth with Greg Roman. So, and they're sitting right next to each other. So I wouldn't even be surprised if Mark Trestman's like, hey man, I think this play right here would go well. I think streaks down the right side or the left side would do really well. They're playing XYZ coverage. Let's hit them on the edge real quick for a deep ball, right? And let's do it on second down, not third down when they're expecting it, right? Because third and long, they're going to go into a pass protection type of formation, right? But if you do it on second down, normally they're thinking, especially with Greg Roman, he's going to run the ball and try and get 5 yards, so he has a short 3rd and 3 and short, right? So my point is, I think that's really where Greg Roman has become a little bit predictable, right? He's not trying to go for the deep plays. But again, when you go back and look at this, I mean, again, just look at this. This right here, people now are going to say, okay, that's 4 deep passes, right? This one's 30 plus, this one's 25, right? And these are 15, right? So these are, I mean, we're throwing the ball deeper now, which is great. And that's really what Justin Herbert excels at. So anyways, it's food for thought. Again, sometimes these NFL coordinators get in this mindset of, okay, what's the third down play? Get it on second down and move on, right? Don't worry about it, right? If you have a negative play on first down, just get the first down and let Justin Herbert be Justin Herbert. I think that's really where I think the offense calling has become a little bit better. I think they're letting Justin Herbert actually be Justin Herbert. And he's also healthy, guys. That run that he did said everything we needed to know, that Justin Herbert's finally becoming himself again. And so I'm expecting good things moving forward. So enough of that. But it is something to think about moving forward with Greg Roman and the way he's calling plays. But let's talk about Jesse Minter, and then we'll review some defensive scores, and we'll wrap up. We all know the defense has been amazing, guys. So I'm going to go through the worst to the best for the Week 8 game on PFF Scores. And again, I've said this so many times. I'm not a huge fan of PFF Scores, but it's really it's kind of been the industry standard of what we're looking at when you're scoring players. Again, I think defensive players, offensive players look at it a little bit differently, but bottom line, it's the easiest way of gauging how a person played. Now, this is Alex Insendorf. By the way, we met Alex at training camp. Really great guy. So check him out on Twitter. But the bottom 5 PFF defensive grades, Tito Obonia, which kind of surprised me. He had that late hit out of bounds. I thought that was a little interesting. Alohi Gilman, that kind of surprised me too. Derwin James, that surprised me. There were a few plays that Derwin got beat on. Now we saw a few things Bud Dupree did wrong. Okay. But Deion Henley surprised me as well too. So this was just a bit of a surprise. I was a little shocked by this. In the chat below, were you surprised by this list as well? I was very shocked. I did not expect that 5 to be the worst players that we had, but let's just look at the best 5. No surprise. Tuli has looked amazing, and his PFF scores just seem to keep getting better and better. So he's doing all the right things. And I guess that's my point, setting the edge, not, winning the blocks, right. And getting some pressures, so on and so forth. Maybe not getting sacks, but you're still getting pressures. You're moving the quarterback from the pocket. And look at Jaseel Taylor looking absolutely amazing. Denzel Perriman, thank God he's back. He's looked absolutely incredible. By the way, a lot of people say, well, let's see some more Deion Henley. Look, Denzel Perriman is a dog, man. That guy is still balling and absolutely incredible. And guys, I want to highlight these 2 players right here, Tier Tart and Elijah Molden. Guys, these were pickups we had before the season, just barely. Again, waivers, Tier Tart. Cut by Miami, right? He came in, been absolutely incredible for the Chargers. We all know that there was some, did he take a play off here and there? Did he, how is he playing? Is he really going 100%? Look, Tier Tart has been absolutely incredible for the Chargers. And you cannot say enough about Elijah Molden moving forward. So I think there's a lot to be said. I know a lot of people made comments also about how Derwin James is weak and, he shouldn't be on the team anymore, yada, yada. He hasn't played the best this year. I will 100% give that to you. He really has not performed as we want, but he's also being asked to do some different things, right? He's more in coverage. He's more taking away the tight end. And by the way, tight ends have not played well against us because of Derwin James specifically, because he's very tight coverage in that regard. So overall, a great game, guys. I'm excited to see how we can progress moving forward. I mean, the good news is we're scoring touchdowns in the second half. Again, since week 1, we weren't doing any of that, but I think large part of it's Herbert's healthy. I think the game plan is a little more open. I also do think that since Herbert's healthy, he could probably throw the ball downfield a little more frequently. And it looks like maybe the playbook is a little bit more open moving forward. So again, what are your thoughts? Leave a comment down below. I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are on this video. And what did you think about the game overall? As always, folks, Andrew Bolt Bros. See you guys in the next one.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching the Bolt Bros podcast. Let's go.
Charged up, Bolt Bros on the night.